You're listening to WCUB, Cheney University of Pennsylvania's radio broadcast station. This is Professor Thomas Bass-Magen's HCA 124 radio production class, your conduit for education and information news at Cheney. I am your host, Michelle Amber, and today's topic will be campus royalties. And our guests are the current Miss Legend and the current Miss Beautifully Curved. I'll allow them to introduce themselves.
Well, hi, Cheney. I'm Melody Montgomery. I am the current 2015-2016 Miss Legend for Cheney University. I am a senior and a computer science major, and I plan on being an engineer when I graduate.
Hi guys, my name's Kara Fantini. I'm a sophomore here at Cheney, and I'm the current reigning Miss Beautifully Curved. I'm a social relations major, and I don't know what I'm going to do when I leave here yet.
Okay, so what made you guys decide to run for your positions?
Well, I'll go first. Well, I came here about 4 years ago, and when I got here, my parents met here, and my sister also went here. So I kind of felt like I needed to make an impact on the campus for myself without being Heaven's little sister or Miriam Selby's daughter. So I wanted to do something that would help everyone here remember me. So I became a legend. How ironic, right?
Well, originally when I came to Cheney, I was a fine arts major with a concentration in theater. But something I had noticed from being here for the fall semester was that I wasn't very comfortable being on stage as myself. I was only comfortable being on stage as a character. And India, well, she graduated last year, but she was one of my mentors, and she was like, well, you should do this pageant. So I did the pageant because I fit the criteria, Miss Beautifully Curved, you have to be at least a size 10 to run. So I did it, but it was mostly for my confidence more than, like, running for a position,
Was this the first pageant for each of you?
No.
Yeah, this was my first.
Oh. Well, when I first did get here, this isn't my first attempt at making a name for myself here. When I was a freshman, I ran for Miss Black and Gold, and I went through the whole process of, pageantry and everything, but it wasn't until after I had already lost that they told me GPA was a big role in the scoring, but I was a freshman, so I technically didn't have a GPA yet. That's something they should have probably told me before. But I had fun doing it. It was an experience, and I was determined to win something. I couldn't give up, so I just kept trying, and I made it.
Okay, so what does being a campus royal mean to you?
To me, it's all about the way that you carry yourself. So when I see other people or like other young men and women on our campus or on any campus who have like a sash and are considered royal, it tells me that they carry themselves in a way that that's really good. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, you can look as an example at the freshmen who come in and become Mr. and Mrs. Freshman. They come in and don't know half the people in their class, but they carry themselves in a way that makes their peers want to vote for them, So for me, being campus royalty means that you carry yourself in a way that's respectable, and you're outgoing, and you're just an all-around, like, genuinely nice person, I feel.
I totally agree with you, Kara. With watching other royalty, like, throughout the years, I wasn't really motivated by them to, well, not saying I wasn't motivated. There were some good queens and kings that have gone before me, but it was just, I didn't really see much of them until it was like a big program that they wanted to hold and they wanted everybody to come out, and you wouldn't really they weren't in the spotlight for the right reasons. They just wanted the recognition, the name, and the fame. But it was, for me, when I became, I've always liked to be in the shadows. I never really liked to be in the spotlight unless it was on stage. But when I ran for Miss Legend, my whole family was completely shocked. You, Mel? What? You're shy. You don't like to be, I don't, but if I could see myself making a difference on this campus, I'm going to attempt to. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to try to hold all types of parties and raise money so I could spend it on myself, but I'd rather just people know who I am so they could be inspired to want to speak too. Like if I walk around, I'll just smile at people or hi, I don't know your name, but hey, how are you? How are you doing today? I'll just give random compliments like, oh my gosh, your shoes are so cute. But I'd rather people know me for that rather than, oh, she throw the illest parties. She got the crazy fundraisers going and all that stuff. So that was my motivation. What a king or queen should be.
Okay, so what characteristics do you think makes like a campus royal?
I think they should be. Wow, that's kind of. I'm stuck. I don't know. It's a lot of things, but I don't want to sound cliche. It's just I think that they should always be inspiring. They should always be willing to want to help. Like, you can ask any of my queens. Whenever they have anything, I'm always like, okay, sure, I'll do it. No, I don't have anything to do with it, but I'll still help set up or clean up afterwards. And, oh, by the way, there is a Christmas concert on Sunday for Miss Blue and White if everyone just come out at 5 o'clock. But yeah, I think they should be inspiring, helpful. You know, tenacity is also very good. You can't give up on anything, like anything. Rather, if you want to do it or not, but you just shouldn't because you know people are always watching you. So,
I definitely agree with you. I also think that they should be outgoing. At least for my particular court, this is only the second year. Well, I'm only the second annual Miss Beautifully Curved, so people always ask me questions about it, and I feel like you can't really be a campus queen if you're not going to answer questions or you're not going to want to talk to people when they speak to you, you know. I also agree with Mel when she said helpful, because being a campus queen or having any form of like royalty or being a part of any organization really on campus gives you a unique position. You can hold all like events and workshops and things, and that can be really helpful to some of the students here, you know, especially if you're observant and you see issues and you pick them up and you make a workshop out of it and it helps somebody in the end, you know.
Yeah, people hear the word queen and automatically think, oh, she's stuck up or she don't do nothing. Everybody gonna do stuff for her. Mm-hmm. But it's not even about that. Like, I feel like it's not about that anyway. I think that as queens, that just means that we're in charge of everybody at the same time. And it's a lot more responsibility, more than kicking up your feet. Hey, do this for me, or off with your head.
Yeah, I think it's almost like a form of being an ambassador, actually. I think ambassador would be a better word, because that's how I was feeling sometimes.
Yeah. And a peer mediator.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you could describe your experience in one word, what would it be and why?
This is like a really hard question because there isn't a word I could use to describe it. There's a feeling I could use. I noticed this summer, like from June on, that there was a sense of teamwork. Like the current Miss Cheney and the current Miss Blue and White and Miss Legend Mel, they all came together on a GroupMe app and added all the presidents of the organizations, all the campus royalty, and there was just a very excited air. Like they wanted to come back this year and let everybody know, listen, if somebody holds something, you should go, you should support, like we're all here for each other. And because in the end, that makes the attendance for events better. If I come and I bring both my roommates, they might bring their friends, you know? So it's more, for me, it's more of a feeling. It's more of a like, this year has been really, I lost my feeling word, but it's like a lot of teamwork, you know? I feel like there's a lot of teamwork involved.
Can you repeat the question, please?
The question is, if you have to describe your experience in one word, what would it be and why?
Strategic. I think it's strategic because there's always a method to do everything. Like you want to be able to be seen, but you also want to be able to carry yourself with as much class and like finesse I guess, as possible without being, oh, she's being extra, kind of, you know? It's you always have to be aware of your surroundings, who you're around. Like, sometimes I forget that I'm in a cafeteria, I'm talking with my friends, and I can say anything crazy, and someone might look at me like, ooh, she's supposed to be a leader on the campus. And you always have to be mindful of what you say, when you say it, who you're around when you say it. So it's a lot of strategy that goes into running, well, being a part of an organization. It's also I also choose strategic because we're working on trying to build our campus back up. Like, enrollment is low, and like, we've made up programs where we're going to branch off and go into different high schools. And I'm also part of the National Theater Honor Society, and we have we're motivated to go do skits and different plays and things for other students that could probably want to get them to, oh, what's Cheney about? Like, let's go check this out. Like, want to come see what the campus is. And we've also done just different programs, like, from our perspective, like myself, Takira, Candace, Kaim, all the kings, all the queens. We have tapped into our own individual interests and made programs based on those interests and things that we think you guys will be more interested in wanting to come out to, wanting to support, so that you could show the school pride and school spirit, as opposed to going to Westchester for a party or a program, or Lincoln because they pop but we don't. That's because you're leaving. You have to stay here to want to make your school better. Why would you think the school would be better if you go away? I'm just saying.
Is it weird? Like, does it feel weird that people call you queens? Like,
no. It was a program actually the other day, My Life, My Label, and it was entitled, Who Are You Calling to Be? So it was, when I was hearing all the history behind that word and everybody's personal experience with the word, I realized that no one's ever really called me outside of my name. So being called queen was kind of like second nature. Like, it was just, it felt refreshing, as opposed to, oh, she's a thought, or she whatever other word. But being called queen, it was kind of like, ooh, that sounded nice. Now I'm going to call everybody queen. Hi, queen, how are you?
And it's just nice because after a while, like, when I started rehearsing for Miss Beautifully Curved, India was calling everybody queen. Like, she'd be like, oh, queen, like, don't forget we have rehearsal tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. Oh, queen, let's go get lunch. And, you know, after a while of hearing it, it makes you look back and like, you're like, well, if she's calling me a queen, I hope that I'm carrying myself like a queen. And then it affects the way that you carry yourself. No, you know, and I feel like you could call anybody a queen, like, if they portray one, you know? It's just like you could call anybody out of their name if you think that they're being some type of way, but you wouldn't call just anybody a queen. You know, you would have to, I just, like, backtracked. All I'm saying is that everybody could be called a queen as long as they're acting like a queen, so it doesn't really feel weird to be called one because I feel like I'm carrying myself like one.
Well, thank you, ladies, for joining me.
Thank you, Michelle.
Yes, thank you for having us. It was fun.
Oh, fantastic. That was really good. Really good, really good. Really, really good. Thank you for joining our class and helping us to do cool things in this class. Before you skedaddle, I need